Are we on? We're
We're
on
on.
screen together. Excellent. Because tonight we go to battle with the fitness and nutrition industry. So as we are waiting for you all to log on, I'm Michelle.
Randy.
We are the owners of Revolutionize Nutrition. Thank you for coming back and joining us. If you're new to this is a casual discussion where me and Randy touch on different health and nutrition fitness related topics every other week. And we invite you to interact with us in the comments section. What's up, Nicole? I see you. We are on two platforms right now. We're live on Instagram and we're live here on our Revolutionize USA social media. Instagram.
So we're live on Instagram and Instagram.
YouTube. I meant live on YouTube and here. Thank you for the call out. So we're here. Again, this is casual. And this is a chance for us to interact with you guys because we don't get to see you all the time. And we want to see you. And
Or at least talk to you.
Talk to you. You can
You
see
can
us.
see us, yeah.
Are you sure you want me to interact? I want you to interact, Liza, because tonight you are allowed to be pissed off about whatever you want to be pissed off about because there's a lot to be pissed off about in this industry. And I feel like I was very complacent for a little while there with just shit. And then something just really like pinched a nerve with me recently. And I was like, you know what? Let's just go all out. Let's talk about the truth bombs that a lot of people don't want to hear. And in addition, a lot of just the BS in the industry and just navigating through it.
Yeah.
Right on. So let's get to it. Let me just fix. We're good. We're good. Okay. So the first, and this is the most common thing that we discuss all the time that nobody ever wants to admit or hear. But guess what? Consistency is always going to win. Stop program hopping. Stop jumping around from plan to plan to plan. Master a plan. Stick with it and become a professional with that plan. Manipulate that plan.
Yeah. I mean, it really doesn't. I wish there was more to elaborate on this, but there's not. You know, if you started going to college and you wanted to be an engineer, you wouldn't change your major 10 times hoping to be an engineer.
You got to get good at the plan, master the plan. You could tweak it, you can manipulate it, of course, but hopping around is going to keep you on this like cycle of getting nowhere real quick.
And now this doesn't pertain to if you want to change your goals. If your goals change, then your program should change.
Mm-hmm.
But if, let's say you want to run a marathon in the fall and do a bodybuilding show in the spring, that's fine, but you're not going to go as far as fast hopping around your goals as well.
Yes, Nicole, I've been following the plan and seeing major results. Can't wait to show you tomorrow. Can't wait to see you tomorrow. Yes, I love hearing that. I love hearing that. It's so important because what happens in this industry is people, it's not always flashy. It's not always exciting. And what do people want? They want flashy. They want exciting. But the most successful people I know in this industry are the ones who do the quote unquote boring shit every single day.
Yeah, and that's pretty applicable to anything else. I mean, if you're pretty much in any business, you're selling real estate, you're a salesperson, you're going to medical school, you're doing this, actually, while the other thing, you're going to see a lot of people online selling you, this is what I did to get rich fast, this is what I did to get successful. When the truth is, most of the time, it's 95% of boring work. And every now and then something cool will happen, but that's what they'll show you.
Liza, I'm constantly changing my program. I'm living proof it doesn't work. But I mean, Nick posted a video today as well. And when you see people who have really advanced in their physique, in whatever, in their sport and whatnot, you'll notice that they are doing the same exercises, the same drills, same core movements they've been doing for years, decades, whatever it may be, but they're manipulating, they're tweaking it. They are showing intensity where it's required.
And a lot of it comes down to learning what the heck you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the day, your big moves are going to be your big compound moves with some variation like Michelle's talking about. And yeah, you can have some fun with your accessory work, but at the end of the day, our muscles only move and joints move in certain ways. And those ways are effective. So don't overcomplicate something that's not overcomplicated.
Correct. Don't keep jumping around.
Yeah, it's just, I wish I could be more excited about this topic, but it's just so simple. It's
simple. And if you're putting the proper intensity into it and the proper strategies of manipulation tactics, trust me, it won't get bored. get boring. Nick was doing a simple overhead press today and almost threw up in the middle of his set just because the intensity was there.
Yeah, and Paul Liver King's the greatest, latest example of that.
Oh, yeah, we were going to actually go into that one. He says, I got to say, guys, it's been real, but I think I'm leaving ref for Liver King's all natural, no steroid nutrition counseling. Oh, my God, that's great. People get bored, I think. You want to crazy stunts on day one or you feel like a failure. It's not why everyone succeeds.
No,
it's why not everyone succeeds. Yes, yes, yes. Rashawn, my workout split and sets haven't changed since November 2021. It's true, but you're manipulating them. You're getting stronger. There's some days that you're not going to feel so strong, and there's going to be other days that you're PRing, and that is exciting. It's not going to be boring.
One of my favorite quotes comes from this strength and exercise professor out of Oklahoma, I believe. I forget exactly his name right off the top of my head. But he got a question once from one of his students. He goes, how do you get better at deadlift? He goes, you deadlift.
It's really that simple, guys. It's that simple. So do the boring shit day after day and try to make it not so boring by hitting new PRs, hitting some performance goals. And you're not going to hit a performance goal every day, and that's okay.
And if you watch Michelle's video earlier, if your intensity is proper, it's not going to be boring. Anybody who did a sport in high school and ran suicides were never boring.
They weren't boring, that's for sure. And I didn't post it. It's saved in my drafts. That video, okay. So you haven't seen it yet.
Hard stuff's never boring.
No, it is
You may not like it. It may suck, but it's not boring.
Yeah. If you're just going through the motions, it's boring. Want to get better at running? Run, period. How do you get to Carnegie Hall? Practice.
That's it. I love those. Yeah.
Perfect. I love that. The next one, your supplement stack is not the answer. Your nutrition and training is the foundation. Any supplementation on top of that is a cherry on top. And now there's different types of supplementation.
Yeah, but we're really talking about all of them in all fairness.
All of them.
But what does the word mean? Supplementation. It's a supplement to your nutrition and training.
Correct.
Not replacing.
Nailed it. The next one, if you aren't seeing fat loss results in a calorie deficit, you most likely aren't actually in a calorie deficit.
And disclaimer. Most likely just a disclaimer.
Disclaimer.
I'll say you're not.
Not including medical situations.
Yeah, but usually
there's a disclaimer there.
But usually those
99.9% of the time.
Right. If I lock you in a room.
But there are.
Well, put it this way. If I lock any human in a room for a week with no food, they lose weight.
Yeah. And there's a lot of segues I can go on that one, but I'm not going to go too far.
I'm not saying that's healthy or right. I'm just saying it is.
Right.
And a lot of times you may believe you're in a caloric deficit, and that could be for a bunch of different reasons. You may be over or underestimating expenditure, intake, X, Y, Z.
So I spoke to one of our members today. I won't mention his name, but I saw him at the gym today. And he said this was an accidental situation. He's been overeating and not knowing it because his food scale was incorrect. And he realized the weight on the package didn't match the weight on the scale. So he actually took like a 2-pound weight and put it on the scale, and it was significantly less than what it was saying, or vice versa. And situations like that, unless your scale is broken, that's exactly it. That's exactly it. I'm so glad that you chimed in there, Chris. Perfect example.
But again, it leads to the same thing. If you're in a caloric deficit, not losing weight, you're not in a caloric deficit.
Exactly. Exactly. Luckily, he's bulking.
Right. There could be a million other factors, but it boils down to that.
Yeah. Yes. But my watch says I burned 3,000 calories when I walked. Yeah. So that's another one, Liza. That was perfect. It
depends on calories.
The discrepancies on the calorie trackers. Exactly.
And a lot of times too, if you could be in a situation where you have an abnormally low BMR, RMR. But again, that means you're not in a calorie deficit.
So the next one, you can't spot reduce. You guys have heard us say this millions of times. If you don't know what spot reduction is, it is
reducing a specific spot.
Yes, reducing fat in a very specific spot. Perfect example is when a trainer or some guru online
says, named Spot, and you want to get rid of the spot on his left ankle, can't happen.
When somebody tells you to do 1,000 crunches to burn the belly fat, it's not a real thing. You have fat, you have muscle. They are two different components of the body. Fat can turn into muscle, and muscle cannot turn into fat. So you cannot spot reduce. In addition, we are predisposed to where we store our body fat due to our genetics.
Yeah, pogo spots cannot move.
Your next one is your 500 calorie diet is probably not the answer, and you will probably fail.
Yeah. So now I'm not going to spend too much time on this either. You will fail because it's unsustainable, and the weight you lose is not the weight you want to lose.
Yes. So we see crazy, crazy fad diets out there. And one of the craziest ones we heard is like people eating 500 calories a day along with some sort of shot or something. I know people who have done this diet several times, and they every single time after losing 30 pounds gained it right back plus some, and then they repeat it. And
we're not talking about the situation of 2, 3, 4, 5 years. They gain it back slowly. We're talking about
immediate.
Months. Yeah.
Yeah. So
and usually weeks.
Yeah, days sometimes. But yeah, please do not like hyper restrict your calories. It is dangerous. It is not sustainable. And although you feel motivated on day one, that motivation does not last, and your body is starving.
No. And even if it lasts all the way through, it's not sustainable.
Yeah, a shot like injection. Yeah, like the HCG.
Yes. Yeah, luckily I haven't heard a lot of that lately, but it's always around.
But now there's a different one.
Yeah.
So there's always something that's coming out with these crazy fucking doctors trying to sell something for thousands of dollars. I did 500, 700 and lost weight that I gained it back ridiculously fast. Hello, stretch marks. I'm 500 calories by 8:30 after the gym. Yes, exactly. All right. Randy loves this one.
I love nothing.
When it comes to exercises, quality over quantity. So some people are like, I need more exercise. I need more exercise. They want to do like 20 different exercises in one session.
If you want to do 20 exercises, you're not working out hard enough.
Intensity matters. You can take 4 basic movements and beat the hell out of them. So whether it's 3 sets, 4 sets on each of those movements, intensity's there. Any manipulation tactics, intensity modifications are there. That's all you need. Liza, crazy fucking doctors. Michelle just spoke in Goodfellas. And I quote, hey, Kels. Oh my God, you're down in Disney. I hope you're having a blast.
Showing that good Mickey Wi-Fi.
Showing that good Mickey Wi-Fi. Some people gain maybe because they're going through hard times, like absolutely. A deep depression. So that is a very separate issue. That's a very separate issue. So we've actually done full lives on that. So coping with stress, anxiety, depression, and so forth. That's a whole other topic and a valid topic. And I'm glad that you mentioned that. Awesome. Well, it's not awesome, but I'm glad you mentioned it.
Pretty much there's no, if you're doing more than 4 or 5 exercises for a muscle group and not dead, it's probably an intensity. Not probably, it is an intensity issue. No matter what drug you're on, it's an intensity issue.
Correct. Kelsey's getting yelled at. Rudy says, you're on vacation, Kelsey. The next one. I already said this really. Is it your program or is it your lack of intensity? So again, like program hopping or blaming a program when your intensity is just not there, you're going through the motions.
Even the worst program followed intensely, you'll probably do okay.
Yeah.
Not that it's a good idea. I'm just saying.
You might see some results.
Intensity will usually trump program.
Yes.
And the best program done with a lack of intensity will not work.
Nailed it. I can write you the most perfect plan there is. But if it's not done with the right intensity, the results aren't
in terms of good workouts, muscle and fitness and flex is a whole lot of good ones.
Correct.
But they're meaningless without the intensity and the workout.
It's the same thing with a nutrition plan. A plan is a plan sitting on your table, but if it is not followed, don't expect the results.
I mean, think about how many of us were given budgets to be like, hey, you follow this budget, you'll be a millionaire. Not that easy.
Yeah. Hi from Disney World. She says, hi. You're not missing out on anything up here in Jersey. You're telling me I live in a house of lies on planet bullshit. Yes. Solid quote right there. Solid quote. Hey, Robin, what's up? The next one. Just because it is gluten-free. He's yawning.
That's what I do best.
Just because something is gluten-free or vegetarian does not mean it's low calorie. Sometimes if it's gluten-free or vegetarian, it's higher.
Yeah.
So please keep this in mind.
It's just, this one's frustrating because there's no one saying it is. It's just really something that
has nothing to do with calories.
Yeah.
It has nothing to do with calories.
This one bothers me more than it should because it's one if anybody can figure out, you just step back a second and go, wait, what does that word mean? And gluten-free means there's no gluten.
That's it. Vegetarian means it's vegetarian. It is not low calorie. Keep that in the back of your mind when you fall for these marketing tactics. My cheese fries are calorie free. Book up.
Well, that's science. Cheese.
Hashtag science.
Yeah. I agree with Liza.
I agree too. All right.
And vacation macros don't count.
Yes, vacation macros don't count. Like me the last week. It's great. No, it definitely certainly counted.
Got that reindeer, shark.
It was great. We embraced the culture of Iceland. It was great. Oh, if you're planning to go to Iceland, hit me up. I'll give you my whole itinerary. Whole thing's mapped out for you. Okay, so now things that piss you off. So if
Everything.
you saw everything, so if you saw, like, I'm a lot of sunshine and rainbows,
I'm not.
but like on the inside is this deep hatred for
Of me.
lot of the stuff in the industry. And I try to like express it in a very like positive way, but like honestly, I just want to be like,
Yeah.
so
Well, it's important to hating without a purpose is useless. Hating with a purpose can be effective.
there's a lot of purpose here. But you know what? My hate is what gets me inspired.
Complaining isn't useful. Explaining can be.
Wait, say that again.
Complaining isn't useful. Explaining can be.
Aha. I like what you said there. So let's dive into some things that piss the audience off. I asked you guys a question and you answered. My DMs have been flooded. In fact, of all the questionnaires I've ever put out there, this was the
It's the
highest
hottest.
volume one I had. You know why? Because people love to hate shit. People love to say this pisses me off, and I loved it today.
Let out your inner Wednesday, people.
Let it out. Let out your inner Wednesday. All right, love you, Kels. Vent on us. He says, I could go live with you and go down my list. Well, I have your list. I got a lot of people's lists right here, so we're going to break it down. Some people want to remain anonymous, so we're going to keep them anonymous as well. And if something pisses you off, drop it in the comments. Haters going to hate. So the first one, somebody says, not knowing who to listen to because trainers are constantly contradicting themselves and each other.
Yeah, and I'll answer simply. Don't take anything anyone says at face value. Don't listen to me. Don't listen to Michelle. If it's not backed up by, other professionals and
Science,
experts,
empirical evidence.
so if you're not hearing this from the people who with the medical degrees, the science degrees, the bio degrees, the nutrition degrees, and what we say is completely contradicting that.
Yeah.
If you're hearing only one person say something that no one else says, probably not great.
Cross-reference.
Cross-reference. If it sounds too good to be true or it just doesn't make sense, doesn't make sense. And this can be hard, don't get me wrong, but once you kind of start getting an eye for it, it can be easier.
Rudy says the vertical press only holding 945 pounds pisses me off because your legs are a beast, man. What started this?
You got to change it up to single legs in there.
Single legs and tempo change, my dude. What started this giant hatred party? I don't think I can share that information, but let's just say it made me go from a 0 to a 100.
And it's funny because it wasn't that big of a deal. It just set her off.
It just set me off. I just live in my Colleen. I just live in my Rev bubble. The Rev bubble. I just ask Randy when I hear nonsensical things if I'm not sure.
Yeah, and I don't mean to toot my own horn, but I am a pretty good source to go to because I won't give you the answer just because I said so.
And if we don't know the answer,
go find it.
We will research the shit out of that for you. And I respect that.
If you ask me for more information, I'm so happy to give it to you.
100%. Single leg workouts are sick. Yes, throw that in. Bop, bop. All right, the next one. Photoshopped pictures. They exist.
Yeah. If you haven't followed, was it Goob?
Goob, whatever it is.
He's a fun Instagram account who's he's throwing everybody who's photoshopping the pictures on blast.
Listen, there's like Photoshop and then there's Photoshop. Like I've seen people like, blur out a wrinkle. Fine, whatever.
Well, again, it's different if you're doing it on your vacation photo with your family versus when you're a personal trainer or a coach shopping you or your client's progress. My personal favorite is when people shop stage pictures, which can easily be found on the stage picture website.
And in addition, your stage picture is already amazing, but now you're literally pulling in the stomach even more and then making your glutes even bigger. Why are you doing that?
Wood doesn't have curves in it.
We can cross that. People taking progress pictures and you see everything behind them is also like wiggly, right? So this exists. And it's very common. It used to be in magazines and now it's social media.
And honestly, I'm not hating on it too. It's more of, hey, if you want to chop up and make a photo really pretty, just put hey, it's been edited.
Yep, exactly.
That's fine.
Edited, 100%. The next one. Followers being more important than hard work and knowledge. Okay.
I'm sorry, I got a funny quote. There's one more funny quote about the
Yeah.
photoshopping. And it's an oldie,
It's like,
but I always
geez.
like it. It goes, if models can use Photoshop, athletes should be allowed to use steroids. And
That's the crutch.
I like that one.
I like that. That's good. So I think a lot of this pertains to sponsorships. Some people will ask, like, how do sponsorships work? Sponsorships are a
And
business.
this isn't us. This is any.
This is anything. So it is important for somebody to not only have followers, but they have to be legitimate. The clients or the sponsored athlete needs to be making the company money
That's the answer. And
to a certain degree.
yeah, and sometimes the best sponsored athletes aren't the best athletes. It's the best salesperson.
Exactly.
Sometimes they go hand in hand. A very good athlete will have a very good following. Great.
Right.
But sometimes, especially in this sport, you'll get great athletes with the personality of a fucking doorknob who don't want to work and have these big egos. Also, a doorknob personality can be fine if you let someone do work for you and you're honest about it.
Yes, exactly.
But if you have no personality and don't want to work, just say, look how good I look.
Yeah. And you got to build your following.
And I won't name names, but I have seen some gigantic names in the industry get fired from companies.
It happens all the time. Like, and when we say gigantic, I mean that even if you're not in the bodybuilding industry, you would know the name.
And these are firsthand stories. I know we're talking
straight up. Sports equal money, period. If you get athletes that are great and a salesman, that's the rarity. Yeah. Okay, next one. Liver King. So if you don't know who Liver King is, he's a very popular social media presence who lives off of...
Well, his claims are ridiculous. But he's the latest in a line of, I have the silly diet that makes me better than you. And he did look good. He looks great. But he's also doing X, Y, and Z. Copious amounts of
anabolic steroids.
To the tune of $10,000 to $15,000 a month.
Yeah. So apparently an email got leaked with what he was taking, and
he didn't deny it.
And he didn't deny it. He was like, you know what? I kind of feel some sense of relief knowing that this is now out there.
And I hate that I don't want to knock him specifically because it's so common, but he's just an easy target right now.
Correct. Yeah.
And the worst, and I was telling Michelle this earlier, what upsets me the most is not going to put a fucking dent in his bank account because people just want to believe in this. That bothers me.
Yeah. And it happens in the industry with bodybuilders in general. Like, they'll be like, oh, I got these results with this supplement, and it's not the protein powder. It's honestly like their work ethic and their diet and their training program, of course, but also copious amounts of anabolic steroids.
And Rashawn, his stuff wasn't even good. The GH was. Well, that's the best part about it. I think you probably heard the same people talking that I did, where for the amount of stuff he was taking, he did not look as good as he should have looked. And the worst part is he looks very good. He could have said he was taking some stuff, and he would have still had just the same amount of followers.
Maybe if he was open about it, he would have gotten better gear.
Yeah,
from a more accredited source.
Yeah, his guy was ripping him off.
Oh man! All right, the next one, the blind leading the blind.
Yeah, and see, this is but it's hard to define who is the blind leading the blind, and it can be hard to tell who's blind, especially when they may have a good physique by genetics.
And that happens. So sometimes you have two personal trainers. One has extensive knowledge, and the other one does not, but they have a six-pack. Most people are going to go to the guy with the six-pack and not the one with the extensive amount of knowledge. Looks matter in this industry.
Yeah. And don't get me wrong, I think there is something to living it. And that's from the guy who's not right now not living it.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I've seen this myself as well. I do have more people reach out to me and inquire when I am leaning out for a show, when I'm super lean, when I'm shredded. But then when I'm in my thickness season, which is actually what I prefer on a personal level, like I like being lean for my sport, but for life, I like being thicker. I don't have as many people reach out. So it puts a stress actually on fitness professionals to feel like they need to look a certain way all the time, even though that look might not be their favorite.
Yeah. And this is very similar to actors and anyone who has to, who their physique is tied to their bank account.
Yep. Nailed it.
Strippers.
It's true.
Sorry,
You're
that
not
was
wrong. You're not wrong. But this is important, and it does put a type of stress on fitness professionals. And I do notice that the ones who are lean and really like at that extreme, their business usually does go
yeah,
up.
and it can be difficult too when you start.
I love you, thick and lean.
Yeah, and it can be difficult too when you're starting out as a professional and you happen to have the great physique when you're starting out.
Mhm.
You may feel like that's the only way to keep your clients. Like Michelle said, as you lose it, you may see your clientele dip because that was the only tool you're relying on. You didn't develop the other skills and the other business things. So I'm not knocking it. I'm just saying it's a real problem.
It's a thing.
It's
It
a thing.
exists.
Yeah.
The next one, this comes from one of our clients. Everything, social media, fad diets, crap doctors, injectables, low carb. So
Well,
we touched on most
all
of those
those,
already. Yeah, which is great. The next one, oh, we
We
already
did
did
that.
that one. People, oh,
Okay, so I'm going to take this one. I'm going to try and be nice about this one. So read it and I'll.
for this one is diet pills.
Oh, okay. I thought you were going
Which-
to this one. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, so this is just, you
Oh,
know,
well, that's supplements. We talked
so
about
we
that.
talk about the supplements, but still, like, you can give them all the knowledge, all the tools, and still they're just going to say, well, what diet pill can I take?
And trust me, if there was one I could sell you, I'd sell it to you.
And I'd be a fucking millionaire. It'd be great.
Don't have it.
But it's not real. And,
And
even
and I'm talking illegal stuff too.
yeah, even if it was like even illegal stuff, even if it was just here and available to you, you cannot sit on your ass and do nothing. You got to remember your foundation is fitness and nutrition. The other shit is literally a cherry on top. It does not work if you are not
Yeah.
working.
You're going to look better than 90% of the people without supplements.
Mm-hmm.
That's just, they add a little more.
My dog lives off of a steady diet of rubber balls and feces, and he's jacked as hell. Moral of the story: trust no one. Eat whatever you want.
Well, do I have a diet for you, my friend? I have been living off feces.
Next one. People filming themselves and sharing that film of themselves performing an exercise, but the exercise is with bad
Yeah,
form.
so I'm going to try and be nice on this one, and it goes both ways. If the person,
Again, these are coming from other people. These aren't even
yeah,
ours.
if the person's being a dick about it, yeah, hate away. Sometimes people don't know,
Right.
but yeah, I'll leave it there.
And then it clips on to the next thing that this one person said is judgmental videos posted by asshats making fun of people. And
I don't like that one.
I don't like that. That is.
I was actually thinking about the other day.
Yeah.
You shouldn't make fun of anybody who's trying,
Mhm.
but people who are being assholes and cocky, they're a free game. Basically, if you're just keeping your head down, doing your work, even if it's wrong and ridiculous, you shouldn't be made fun of for trying.
Correct.
But if you're being a douche,
Listen, when I first got in this industry, I was doing a lot of exercises super wrong, but I was trying my hardest. We all start somewhere.
yeah, but if you're out there cocky, acting like you're Mr. Know-It-All, you're a free game.
Like she said, don't be an asshat. And this goes, if I fast forward real quick, people who preach positivity and smile for social media, but are actually rude, egotistical assholes in the gym. So I ran into this situation the other day.
And that's one of the most upsetting things to me. I'm sorry, I'll let you go.
All right. So I went to an event, super excited, and there were a lot of like big fitness influencer type people there, like big names. And like it seems so cool through their social media presence. And then you go and you met them and you're like, this guy is just not nice, like not friendly, not interested, not nice, and just very, very like full of himself. And it was very off-putting and a very different personality from what you see online. Say don't meet your heroes.
Yeah. And it's just,
Like he's my hero, but still, it was
no,
he was a different person than his online personality.
and it's so stupid to me because none of the shit we do matters.
The guy with the sports mouthpiece only doing lat pull downs with 35 pounds. Wait, who is that? I don't even know who that is. Or is that not a thing and you're just joking around? Yeah, I don't like that. We all have a day one. Yes, Colleen, absolutely. Love it. Names, we know there will be no names here because I don't do that.
And this frustrates me because I was actually lucky to be around decently supportive people early in my career. They may have been cocky asshole monsters, but they would also help you.
They also helped.
They
wanted to help people.
They wanted to help people if you were open to help.
Mm-hmm.
And that was always one of the things I loved about the bodybuilding community. That was it used to be very inclusive. And I'm dating myself because my heyday of really being in the gym was a little bit before social media got rocking and rolling. And I do think that's changed things because people see the people like Michelle's talking about, and they think, oh, that's a cool way to act because he has followers. I'm going to act like that. And people that may have been nice and cool, who their nature might be to be nice and friendly, think they have to be douchey and standoffish because that's the way to be.
It's weird. It's a weird era we live in right now. I'm not gonna lie. So things have just really changed in the bodybuilding community in the last
I mean,
few
look,
years.
there's always been assholes, but in the past there wasn't as much
Just
notoriety to it. So kind of, if you were
Maybe.
into it, you were into it for the love of it. And I don't want to be old geezer here. I mean, the internet era has made the sport grow by leaps and bounds. I
Yeah.
wouldn't have a career without it.
Yeah.
But
but the next one is, I'm gonna skip that one. All right, so this comes from a few different people.
which ones?
This one.
Yeah, nothing to talk about.
All
Here.
right. There's a few people, fakes and frauds and fake natties. So we kind of talked about that before, but when somebody is displaying a certain physique and saying it's just this, and they're eliminating the
Yeah. Now and again,
abundance of anabolic
and this
steroids.
isn't even talking about lies of omission. I almost don't. In this industry, a lie of omission almost doesn't count.
Yeah.
But if you're straight up like, oh, I'm natural, or someone said, do you use drugs? And you say no. At the end of the day, drugs are a part of the sport. They're a part of this world. There's different levels to it.
Mhm.
And most people who know what you're doing, if they're like, oh, you're Chris Bumstead and you use steroids, yeah, of course you do. But look at how fucking you still put the work in, obviously.
100%. And that
It
happened.
just makes you respect them a little more.
I think it happened with a couple big names this year.
It
Where
was like a year or two ago, everyone started opening up.
Things were kind of leaking out, and they were like, you know what, I just got to tell the people. And like, honestly, I respected
Yeah,
that.
we're seeing a little bit from retired bodybuilders.
Liver King, yeah, Charlie.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Hey, Anthony. Yeah, so it's I'm glad people are becoming more open about it. So
But
that's the whole thing.
Still a problem.
Okay. The next one. The concept of burning off your food, creating an unhealthy relationship with food and fitness. Yeah. So you see in the industry a lot of people saying, like, if you're going to do this to burn it off.
Yeah. And again, if you're working with a program with Revolutionize, for example, the program accounts for the calories you're burning already.
Yes.
Don't try to get cute.
Don't get cute. And just people not being open-minded and being super critical. So I think
which can be hard to do.
Yeah.
Especially as you start to learn some things and you feel like you're seeing through the bullshit a little bit.
Mhm.
We all want to be that I know more than you. I'm calling out the bullshit guy.
Yeah.
There's a way to do it.
There's a way to do it.
You don't follow Lane Norton?
Lane Norton. If you don't follow Lane Norton.
Hey, he's a great fucking follower and a smart guy. You should.
Lane Norton, PhD, super, super intelligent guy, but he also has no problem like calling out the bullshit and backing it up with every piece of evidence you can possibly find.
But he's alienated a lot of people in his life by being a complete asshole.
Yep. Yeah. So it's like, what was it? Be an asshole, but I'd rather be right.
Yeah, it's would you rather be happy or would you rather be right?
So, yeah. So again, those were like the big things.
2 divorces later.
So there's the trade-off, right? So again, these are just the truth bombs I had to drop. It was like they were chomping at me. I needed to tell it. Are there any others that you can think of off the top of your head?
It's funny. I think in my old age, as I near the end of my life, I think it just a lot of people need to give a lot of other people a breather a little bit. Like, hey, why are they being like this? Why am I being like this? Take a step back. You know, is it them being insecure? Is it lack of knowledge? Or are they just an asshole? And take a look at yourself too first. Be like, why am I doing X, Y, or Z? Am I hating because I'm jealous? Am I picking on somebody who's smaller than me and just starting out because I'm insecure? You know, do I wish I would have had help? And so when a big guy didn't help me when I was young, am I just perpetuating that cycle of not helping?
Right.
So just take a closer look at what you're doing and why. This industry should be
internal self-talk
about helping other good people be better, and ignoring the douchebags because they'll be there too.
They're going to exist. They're there.
But they truly are like a small percentage of it. They really are. They just take up a lot of the space.
Yeah. I'm happy when I'm right, Matt says.
I love Matt.
Win-win.
That's why I like Matt.
but in all honesty, there are really great people in this industry. They're really supportive people in this industry. As you know, we are here to support you, encourage you however we possibly can. If you need more from us, we will give you more. Just ask.
And if you ever need a good hate circle, I'm down for that too.
Yeah, like, listen, like I said earlier in this conversation, I'm a lot of sunshine and rainbows, but like, there's a lot of hate in there too.
Otherwise, it wouldn't work.
All right, guys, listen, if the things that piss you off, send it to us because we can drop into it the next time we do our live in a week and a half. My gym is cool. Everyone is willing to help. And that's why I like good gyms like that. As beautiful, if you find that.
Yeah.
And don't be afraid to reach out to people.
Yeah, but we're happy to do a part 2 on this if we have more stuff to do.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm sure something can get me pissed off. Listen, we are going into the new year right now.
Well, also, don't be the guy hating on the new year. You're newbies. We were all there.
Right.
Hate on the new year guy being an asshole.
Yes.
Hate on the guy taking up 3 machines at once. Hate on the guy not wiping down his machine. Hate on the guy filming and texting while you're waiting.
Hate the guy that's not racking his weights. Oh, the tripods. That's another thing that's pissing people off.
Listen, I don't care if you're fucking Mr. Olympia or you just started working out and think you should have a tripod. If there's a weight for the machine, don't be using the tripod.
Yeah, I think there's a time and place for everything.
Yeah.
And sometimes
if you want to go film content, go at a dead time.
And I get that. I have to film content.
But
I do it all the fucking time.
Go at an appropriate time or do it in an appropriate space.
And just, I don't know.
Or do it quickly.
Yeah. I'm so fast and I'm like, listen, I don't have a tripod. I'm not making a whole display and lighting. I'm hiding that camera wherever I can. And like, somebody looking at me, I don't know, right? I hate on the guy.
Again, like, there's times where we had to film excessive amounts of content. You know what we did? Yes, hate that guy too.
Who are you referring to?
Sorry.
Cake pop. Oh my God. No, I love talking.
But no, but seriously, like there's days we've had to film excessive content. We didn't go to the gym at busy time. We actually would find a friend who owned the gym and went when they were closed. Go to a gym on its off hours.
Yeah.
Don't go there and go, I have 6 hours of content to do today and I'm going to go at 4 to 8 p.m.
That's true. And listen, I will sit and talk with anybody all day, but if I only have like 10 minutes to work out, that's when I'm be like, deuces, I gotta see you later. I gotta go.
Maybe we'll talk gym etiquette next time.
Gym etiquette. Oh, we've done that one a long time ago.
It's been a minute since we've done gym etiquette.
Gym etiquette. Ooh, I'm inspired.
But we'll see. Maybe we'll
I'm gonna write that one down.
We'll combo it with something else.
Gym. I think that's a good one with the New Year coming.
Yeah, we'll talk.
So we'll do gym etiquette and
New Year stuff. We'll talk.
New Year stuff.
All right, peeps.
All right, you guys. Oh, we work the jaw also in between drop sets. Yeah, how many times I tell you to get back to work? I'm like, shut.
Well, there was that funny meme going around this week. It was someone interviewing Ronnie Coleman. He goes, "What was your secret to getting, winning 8 Mr. Olympias?" And he goes, "Texting between sets."
I love that.
We'll finish on that.
I'm bad at getting out of conversation with the talkers. Just be like, listen, I'm rushing. I gotta go.
Just fart.
So you just rip ass and be like, bye.
Don't use deodorant and fart.
Just be your most disgusting self possible.
But some people are into that.
It's true.
So,
shit.
You make it a different level of stalker.
Exactly.
On that note.
All right, guys, we can go on and just bullshit with you guys, but we're gonna call it quits at this point. We love you. If you need anything, hit us up. And
Deuces.
Oh, listen, the schedule is booking up. I got to talk about this real quick. The schedule is booking up in the popular time slots. Every year at New Year, people get pissed off that they can't get their preferred spot because they waited too long. I am warning you. I am trying to reach out on every avenue that I can for you to schedule your appointments now, because I'm telling you.
And we're more referring to new consults coming in.
If
you're ready with us, your spots are safe. Don't worry about that.
Yeah. At the new consults, like I'm telling you, reach out to us, revolutionizenj@gmail.com, or call the office to lock in your spot.
And things that can be advantageous too is if you're able to schedule it on quieter times to get the initial in, can help too if you're in a rush. But
correct.
Talk to us, talk to the receptionist. We'll get that figured out for you.
For the 3D scanner, like
3D scanner,
there's a little bit more flexibility, but to meet with the nutritionist is a whole different animal right now. And people are getting frustrated because they can't get Saturday time slots, this and that. But like, you need to call, and even if there's a 3-week wait, call now so you're scheduled in 3 weeks, because otherwise, if you wait until the new year, you're gonna have to wait.
And we really are talking about Saturday mornings usually,
and evenings and mornings.
Yeah.
Middays, there's a little bit more flexibility, but those popular time slots, like they're getting booked. So reach out, hit us up. Let's get you in, and we'll see you in 2 weeks.
Yep.
Bye, guys. Bye. See you later.